it's Hannah. It's a new day. I'm not writing quite as late. It is 10 o'clock and it is actually genuinely 10 o'clock. Like, look, I don't know if you can see that, but my phone does say 9:59. It's 10 o'clock. So I'm writing slightly earlier today. I'm not as tired as I was yesterday. However, I am kind of feeling a little bleh. I really don't want to jump into my project after yesterday. So I'm going to do something else today. What I'm going to do in celebration of my friend Lou releasing her pre-order and cover release for her new book. I'm actually taking the prologue from her previous book and I'm going to rewrite it to explore sentence structure. So let me read this prologue to you first. Now, I don't think I'll be able to finish the whole prologue while I'm looking for it, but I think I can get a decent chunk of it. So this is from her book, The Curse of Ash and Blood. It's amazing. I actually got to beta read for it and I just love it. Cute little romance between two boys that takes like 30,000 years to, you know, fix. It's great. I love it. And somehow I jumped like way far ahead in the book. Okay, hold on. Let's go to the prologue. Okay. Prologue. In a small fishing village, so small, in fact, it boasted no name. On the coast of the Black Sea, there was once a young mage with two different colored eyes, one blue and one green, and a face full of freckles. His mother had named him Fable before she passed on, leaving him in the care of his grandfather. With a clever mind and a shy smile, Fable took his duties as the village's mage very seriously. He spent his days tending to his fellow villagers and their animals, and his evenings practicing his art or dabbling in swordplay. Near that village lived a ferocious, volatile dragon who had never been given any name. Blaze is what he went by, when he could be bothered to deal with others, and he hated everyone, indiscriminately. So I really love this prologue because it really kind of sets up, first off, the romance that's going to happen in the story, and it's very descriptive and kind of has that nice like fairy tale feeling to it. So my goal is to change this prologue. I want to still keep kind of the same fairy tale feel, but instead of being on like a beach coast, I'm going to put it in the mountains, and I'm going to be flipping the genders. So, and I'm going to try to follow her sentence structure as much as possible because I feel like my sentences are starting to feel really repetitive. And her sentences are definitely structured differently than how I write, so I want to kind of practice using her sentence structure. So let's get started. So I finished the first 10 minutes, and I finished the descriptor of the first person. Now, looking at the prologue, the second half of the prologue is much shorter than the first half. Luz spends a lot more time describing Fable, and Blaze is very short, and I think that is done for a reason in the book, but obviously I'm not turning this into a book. So for the second half, I'm going to follow kind of the same structure in the paragraph that she did with Fable, but I'm going to see if I can switch around some of the sentence structure and see if I can start them a little differently, kind of flip the sentence. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So let's get going. Uh, 20 minutes are up, and I have written my own prologue based off of Luz's prologue. Which, by the way, if you want to read this book, seriously, it is so adorable. I will post a link below so that you can grab it. So let me. In fact, first I'm going to read the summary of Ash and Blood, The Curse of Ash and Blood. Maybe if it will let me. There we go. To conquer or to tame, how to break a curse and handle a dragon. To save his village from ruin, a kind young mage named Fable must face off against the dragon. When Blaze, the dragon, can't be reasoned with, Fable turns to the local witch, Gwydion, for aid, but no magic can tame a dragon. And where Blaze's temper goes, tragedy follows. Blaze leaves Gwydion with only one choice, which the curse. Have I ever mentioned that reading out loud is not my forte? Anyways, the witch curses Blaze and blesses Fable. It's the curse, or perhaps fate, that brings them together over and over again through all of Fable's reincarnations. While Fable remembers nothing of his past lives, Blaise is forced to relive his mistakes repeatedly, until he comes face to face with Fable Alpiran, a sweet, good-hearted veterinarian who just moved to New York. Could this be the time Blaise finally conquers his own demons? Will Fable finally be able to tame the dragon? No magic can tame a dragon, but perhaps a curse can help. A story for lovers of fine fairy tales such as Rainbow Rowell's Carry On, Ashley Poston's The Princess and the Fangirl, and Casey McQuiston's Red, White, and Royal Blue. Like I said, seriously, super cute story. You should read it. On to my version. So if you notice, I scratched some notes and some ideas of me kind of, breaking down the structure and just some different ideas I wanted to play with, mostly names and what creature I wanted to use. So for example, the first sentence of the prologue, I broke it down to a setting, a description, and then describing the setting a little more. The next part of the sentence was a person lived there, and 2 unique descriptions about them. So pay attention to that as I'm reading through. And how I kind of broke down those sentences and restructured them a little bit, or reworded them to create a different story. In a college at the back of the town, so far back in fact, that some people wondered if it was truly part of the town, on the banks of a mountain river, a young witch lived with skin colored both black and white, and eyes the color of the sun. She had been named after her mother, Juniper, but lived with her aunt as her mother passed away many years ago. Always quick with a smile and remedy, Juniper easily sunk into her role as assistant to the healer. She spent her days running errands, delivering potions and herbs to people and animals alike, and spent her evenings charting the night skies, determined to figure out her destiny before fate could tell her what it was. And following the river upstream further, a minotaur lived, hiding in a cavern behind an ancient tree. The people made fun of her, for who had ever seen a female minotaur? They had made fun of her large ears, her flat nose, and the dull brown color of her cow-like legs. Many had forgotten that she had been given the noble name of Honor, but she certainly didn't feel like any honor was left inside of her. People were cool anyways, and the branding scar on her rump reminded her, and it was far better to ignore the town below when possible. She'd rather spend her days in her cave anyways, filling it with beautiful rocks and wandering the forest and tending to the many flora that most believed were poisonous. But one thing could be sure, no matter how much Juniper looked at the night sky and how much Honor tried to escape away from humanity, nothing would have prepared them for the events ahead. So that is my little prologue inspired by Lou Wilhelm. I want to thank her for letting me do this. I did ask her permission to do this beforehand, and like I said, please go buy and read her books. She is a fantastic author, and I am super excited for her Rapunzel retelling that is coming out soon. So thanks for joining, and I will see you guys tomorrow, okay? Bye!